Okay. Good evening, guys. Can you all let me know if you can hear me and see a screen? Yes. Can see a screen? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So until the others also join, guys, tomorrow we are starting the fast track program, and usually how it works is the first week of the fast track program is open for any student to come out and try for free. So the class schedule is on Tuesday, Thursday, and also Saturday morning. There are 3 classes a week. I'll give you all the details tomorrow during our first motivational session, where we are going to spend like an hour to make a small plan for the next 6 months, right? So we're going to plan on what we need to do for econ and how we all can ideally get an A or even beyond the A, because I feel for something like econ, getting an A is pretty simple. So I think we can target for something a little bit more than an A. We can target for, let's say, a 90-95 level. So that is what the main purpose of the fast track program is. So the first week is free, whether you all join or not. After that, that's all right. Do come and learn during the first week. During the first week, I'll be covering the entire unit number 1. So second week is unit number 2. Third week is unit number 3. Likewise, it goes on. Details I'll give you all probably tomorrow. So there is another WhatsApp group that you have to be added to get the link for that class. There was a flyer that I shared around, hoping that you all would have clicked on that link and joined. I want another WhatsApp group just to make sure that only the people who are interested in actually reading the messages on our past paper class group to join, right? Because even though there are so many in the past paper class group, since it's given for free, no one really cares about it sometimes, right? So that is why I have a different group for that. So the session is from 6 to 7 tomorrow. And after that, there will be another session. I'll give you all the information on that WhatsApp group that I have sent you all the link for. Okay. So I'll not talk too much about that. With that said and done, I'm hoping that you all would have started a new term in school also, with April holidays finishing, and now Vesak also coming to an end. I guess it's a new term and probably your last term in school, right? Where you all must be finishing off the syllabus during these days. And I'm guessing most of the schools must be somewhere around in unit number at least 8 or beyond, right? At least unit number 9, unit number 10. So then at least within the next 2 months, they should be able to finish the syllabus off. So I've completed my theory and revision class syllabuses for the year, and that's why I'm starting a fast track program from tomorrow. So regardless of what class you are going to or anything, right, you can still join and definitely benefit from the program. Right. So today we need to start with the 2011 Unit 2 and 3 essay question. So can I have a message on the chat box, guys? Did you all do the questions? Yes. At least until 2014 or 2015, the essay question. Yes. Starting from 2011, at least, because I don't think we can finish all the essay questions today. But at least if you have done until somewhere around 2014, 2015, I think it's ideal. Okay. Okay, right. So most of you all have actually done it. Good job. Okay. Because I'm telling you again and again and again and again. Okay. Because I will not be giving you all time to, sit and write answers for this. So the best way of getting to get the best use of this is do the questions and come, right? Allocate around 1 hour to 2 hours within the week. Do the questions and come so that we can actually discuss. And then when discussing, you can clear your doubts, because after you do the questions only, when you write answers only, you realize, I don't know how to write for this. I don't know what to do for this. Only then you can clarify your doubt. I don't see much people doing that, right? So most of you all would have written something and come with that. Highly appreciated. But ideally, what has to happen is you do it and come while we discuss, you clarify your doubts on that area, so that, if that question comes again, now you can easily answer that and we don't have to worry about it again. Right. So we'll start. Okay, it's 4:07. We'll start and we'll get going. We'll see if we can at least cover 4 to 5 papers today. I think maybe if we can go faster, we can cover more as well. Okay, starting with the 2 guys. And also I got a little busy and wasn't feeling that well also. So the previous week's recordings are not yet there on YouTube. right? Got a little busy with the fast track program, making the study plans and, sorting those tutes to print and everything. So hopefully when I find some time, I'll put. So on your end, don't depend on the recording that comes on YouTube. Make sure you regularly attend the class, because the recording, there can be delays. Sometimes I might purposefully delay it as well, because to none of you all attend the live class. How was my trip? My trip was okay. It was a little tiring, not feeling very well today, but the day goes on. So what to do? Okay. So we'll start with the 2011 A level question number 2. Okay. So here, guys, on the right side, if you're at any point lost which question we are doing, it's on the right side here, right here, 2011 A levels, question number 2, subsection number 1. Okay, that's how you read the question. 21, a little lost. Okay, we're starting with the first one. List the main factors that determine the consumer demand for a good. Come on, one of the easiest questions that you can ever get. Can you give me certain factors that determine the demand for a good, guys? What are the factors? At least one person give me one factor. If a question like this comes, it's like 3-4 marks that you can ever get. What are the factors, guys? Okay, so we can start with the price of the good itself, right? They are not saying non-price determinants. So you can start with price of the good. We can say P. We can say price of related goods. What are related goods here? Substitutes and complements. Okay, so you can say PN. You can say consumer income. Okay, consumer income. We denote it with the letter Y. You can say taste and preferences, right? Consumer taste and preferences. We can denote that with the letter T. You can talk about future price expectations, right? Future price expectations. You can say maybe FP if you want. Okay. So apart from this, you have maybe you can talk about the number of consumers. You can talk about other factors like, let's say, natural disasters, advertising, weather, right? Those all go under other factors. So don't write those individually. So always remember, when you get a question like this, write the main points. Don't go and write other points which are not the main ones, because for a question like this, they're just asking you to list the main factors. So you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain when the price goes up, what happens to QD, when price of substitute changes, what happens. You don't have to go there. You just have to list it. So just write the 4 main points and we are all good. Right. So that is the first question. It's almost like a free mark, nothing really to teach. As long as you know the basics of the unit, you can get that done. We'll go to the next. Distinguish between a normal good, an inferior good, and a given good. Okay. So now this one, guys, you all would have understood better if I had uploaded that video which I told you I will upload last week about normal, inferior, and given. How does the income and substitution effects work? So for now, I'll teach you all the basics of this. And once that video comes out, once I upload that video, you can watch it and get a better idea. Right. We'll start with the basics, guys. Okay. Yes. Can you tell me, for a normal good, how do we define a normal good, guys? What's the characteristic? What's the main characteristic for a normal good? How do we define it? What's the key feature? How do we call a good whether it's a normal good or I don't know, some other good? Based on what? So a normal good is a good that has what, guys? Positive relationship where? Right? A normal good, right, is a good that has a positive relationship, right, with income. Remember, this is the main point. Not that it complies with the law of demand. Yes, it complies with the law of demand, correct? Even inferior goods comply with the law of demand. Yeah. So the main factor is a normal good is a good that has a positive relationship with income. Is what can you tell about the income effect and the substitution effect? Now, this part is what you might not understand a lot because I have not uploaded that video, but you all would have learned in your theory revision classes. What can you tell about the income effect and the substitution effect? We'll start with the substitution effect. The substitution effect for a normal good, is it positive or negative? Substitution effect. It's negative, right? Substitution effect is negative. What can you tell about the income effect? The income effect for a normal good. The income effect for a normal good is positive, right? So that means it has a positive relationship with real income. So given the substitution effect is negative and the income effect is positive, what can you tell about this? Does it comply with the law of demand or does it not comply with the law of demand? What can you say? A normal good, does it comply with the law of demand? In other words, it has a negative relationship with price and QD, or does it have a positive relationship with price and QD? It complies, right? So you can say that it complies with the law of demand. In other words, you can say there is a negative relationship between price and QD. Okay, so those are the main points that you can highlight for a normal good. So you start your answer saying, now don't write 3 columns in your answer, guys. You all write paragraphs, but your paragraph should have these points. That is what I am trying to highlight. So first thing you need to start with saying, a normal good is a good that has a positive relationship with income. Then you can say the substitution effect is negative, income effect is positive. Therefore, it complies with the law of demand as well, which means it also has a negative relationship with price and QD. Okay, something like that. You can word it any way you want, but those main points have to be there. Then guys, what can you tell about an inferior good? How do we define an inferior good? How do we define an inferior good? What's the first line that we would write? We would say an inferior good is a good that has what? Has a negative relationship with income. And right, there's a positive relationship. I'll make a small change here, not just with income, between income and demand. Right? So income and what, right? Is a good that has a negative relationship between income and demand. This has a negative relationship between income and demand. Yes, what can you tell about the substitution effect and the income effect for this? The substitution effect for a inferior good, positive, negative, what? Substitution effect is negative. Remember, guys, for every good, substitution effect is negative. That's the easy way to remember. Okay. What can you tell about the income effect for an inferior good? The income effect for an inferior good is also negative, but which one is overpowering, guys? Which one is stronger? Is the negative substitution effect stronger or the negative income effect stronger? Which one is stronger, if you remember? The substitution effect is stronger than the income effect here. As a result, what happens, guys? Does this comply with the law of demand or not? An inferior good? Does it comply with the law of demand? Yes, it does comply with the law of demand. Complies with the law of demand. In other words, I'll paste this itself. Has a negative relationship between income and this. Now, guys, some of you all might not understand this substitution effect, income effect part. Please go back to your theory revision notes. My revision class students, this is there in your unit number 2. We did this session on probably somewhere around in August or maybe September last year. Unit 2, session number 1. I would have taken around 1 hour to explain this whole part, and the others also probably in your whatever theory revision class that you all go, you all would have been taught this. So please go and refer to that. I'll upload the recording as well, but until I upload that recording on your end, you can definitely go back to your notes and refer. Okay, that's an inferior good. And then guys, what do you write for a given good? What's the main factor? How can you start? A given good is a good that has what? Is a good that has a positive what? Positive relationship between price and QD in addition to having a negative relationship between what? Income and demand. So remember, guys, a given good is also an inferior good. Now, what is the special characteristic for a given good? a given good also has a negative relationship with income. That is also inferior good, correct? But in addition to that, it has another characteristic. What is the other characteristic? It has a positive relationship between price and QD. This is the new characteristic that comes for a given good. What can I tell about the substitution effect and the negative income effect, guys? Substitution effect for a given good is positive, negative. It's negative. Remember, always for every good, it's negative. What can I tell about the income effect for a given good? Income effect is also negative, right? Which one is stronger, guys? The substitution effect or the income effect? Is the negative income effect stronger or the negative substitution effect stronger? Which one is stronger, income or substitution? It's the income effect that is stronger. Very few people know this, right? From the replies that I get. So does this comply with the law of demand, guys, according to what we have said? It does not comply, does not comply with the law of demand. In other words, there is what? There is a positive relationship. There is a positive what? Positive relationship between price and quantity demand. These are the main points that you all should highlight in your answer. So this answer can be in 3 paragraphs. Please don't divide the page into 3 and normal good. Don't put it on a table. Don't write nonsense like this. I have just given you the main points so that you all know what to write. But your answer has to be in a paragraph because they are asking you to distinguish. If they ask you differentiate, you draw 3 columns and do whatever you want. But in A levels, they don't ask you differentiate, they ask you distinguish. So it has to be 3 proper paragraphs with the 3 types of goods, showing the difference between this and that. So these are the main points that you all should have in your answer for a normal good, inferior, and a given good. Is that okay? It's all right, even if you didn't understand that income effect, substitution effect properly 100%. But I want you all to please go back into your notes and see how it works. Okay? Okay. So moving to the next question. Question number 3. Is given good an inferior good? Yes. All given goods are inferior goods because it has a negative relationship with income and stuff. How can we identify the relationship among income and substitution effect for all the goods? This one, guys, I'll upload the recording, right? You will understand it a little better. Okay, so in my recording, which I have taught my revision class students, I have mentioned which one is greater, which one is higher, and all of that. Okay, right. Coming to the next. The price of personal computers has continued to fall, even in the face of increasing demand. Explain this situation using an appropriate diagram. Now, just think, guys, how do you think this can happen? Right now, if you normally draw, okay, now let's say there is this thing. Okay, so this is the demand for computers. This is the supply of personal computers. So based on demand and supply, we have what? We have the equilibrium price. So they are saying, right? They are saying the price of computers has continued to fall even in the face of increasing demand. So demand has increased right now. Demand has shifted to the right. Now more and more people want personal computers for Zoom classes and all of that. So with the increase in demand, one thing that we know for sure is the price of computers should go up, right? Whatever that was here should go up. But they are saying even when the demand increased, the price of personal computers fell. What do you think could have happened in this market, guys? This is where you can't memorize anything. You have to practically apply and see. What do you think would have happened, guys? How come the demand is increasing, but the price is falling? It has to be something to do with supply, guys. What do you think could have happened here? How come there is an increase in demand, but the price is not going up, price is going down? This can happen when what happens, guys? If the supply increases, supply should increase more than the demand or less than the demand. What do you think should happen? Should there be a small increase in the supply or should there be a big increase in the supply? There needs to be a big increase, right? So the supply, right, what should have happened in this example is, okay, the demand would have gone up, correct? But then you know what would have happened? You have manufacturers. You have manufacturers like whom? Apple, Microsoft, right? All of these people, maybe they have made more and more personal computers now. So supply would have shifted a lot. That was a bigger shift. Can you see? The shift for supply is much bigger than the shift for the demand. So if that happens, what could have happened, guys? If that happens, even though the demand increased, can you see the equilibrium price now, the new equilibrium price in the market? It has now come down, right? It has little by, it has come down. So that has to be your answer. So how do you explain this for 5 marks now? At least for the diagram, they'll give you around 2 marks, guys. So how do you explain? You write what I just told you. You can say, when the price of computers, when the demand for computers increase, the price of computers would increase in the market. However, in this situation, even though the demand has increased for the price to go down, there could have been an increase in the supply. And you can say, in this instance, maybe, right, the supply for this good has increased by a greater proportion than the increase in demand. This can be illustrated from the diagram below. Draw the diagram and you put arrows and everything and show that, look here, demand has gone up, right? But the supply has increased even more. As a result, what has happened? The equilibrium price, you can label the diagram also, guys. You can say equilibrium price, which was P1, has now come down to what? Has now come down to P2. You can show that. So then the examiner knows, this fellow knows what he is talking about. That has to be your explanation. There is no pages and pages to write, guys, in the explanation here. Just what I told you along with the diagram. The diagram is compulsory because they say using an appropriate diagram. Don't forget the diagram. Is that okay? Fine. Any questions on this? Fine. Okay. So we'll then go to the last question of the 2011 A-level paper, question number 2, subsection number 4. This is one of the easiest questions that you can ever get. Okay. So they have given a diagram. In this diagram, DD represents the demand curve. S and S plus T represent respectively supply curve before and after the production tax. How to write the explanation, guys? You can just write what I told in words, right? Because I'm not going to dictate lines by lines. So the points that I told, right? You can write those down. Come up with your own words, guys. Don't memorize an explanation. Don't do that. So your explanation can be, if demand increases, price will go up. However, in this situation, for the price to go down, what could have happened is the supply could have increased by a greater proportion, right? That is why the price went down. You draw in a diagram in your own words, nicely, put it and write. So that has to come from you all, guys, because I know most of you all understand this, right? You all know, right? Demand has increased. Why did the price go down? Because supply went up a lot. But when you all are putting this into writing, when you are actually writing a paragraph in your exam paper, you all are writing utter nonsense. That is why, not just looking at the screen and understanding, you have to write, guys. Write. Only then the flow of writing comes. Because I'll tell you, your examiner who marks your paper doesn't know who you are. No. He doesn't know whether what marks you got for your term test. Are you first in the class, second in the class, where you come from, what is your school? They don't know. Okay. The only way the examiner can judge you is by what you write. You might be a next level economist. You might be the economist who was teaching your school teacher or your tuition class teacher also, right? You would have been that kind of a person. But still, you don't know how to use the main words and put it into an answer. So how will the examiner know? So that's why I always tell, right, guys, pen on paper has to be there. You can't just look at the screen and wait. You can't just read the answer in the marking scheme in your paper and wait, right? Reading answers will do towards the end, guys. Maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go for A-levels. Now you might not have time to sit and write. Now you can read what you wrote. So now you have time. So please allocate 2 hours every week to write answers from now onwards at least. Tomorrow in the fast track program, guys, again, some of you all joined late. We do have a session from 6 to 7 p.m. tomorrow on Zoom. It's a 1 hour session, like a motivational session. to plan your upcoming 6 months. It's open for everyone. And with that, the fast track program begins as well. So the first week of the fast track program is open free for anyone. I usually will limit it for 100 participants because there is personal contact and all there where we what individually give feedback and see what they can improve and all. Details I'll give you all tomorrow, but at least come for that 1 hour session tomorrow so that you all get a plan on what you all should do for econ for the next 6 months, right? So yes, guys, I'll give you this guarantee. Okay, this is a guarantee that I will give you. Okay, for since there was a question, for anyone who joins the fast track, I will give you a study plan. Okay, I'll give you a study plan with certain targets, right? I'll give you everything that you need to do for this next 6 months, right? So there is a whole list of things that you need to do, which you will have to tick every time you do. You have 6 months to do this, huh? Okay, so you have to do it within the 6 months, right? And you need to tick it. And for someone who genuinely does that and regularly comes for class without missing it, I'll guarantee you, you will definitely get an A. For anyone who did that and did not get an A, I'll give you a complete refund of your fast track class, whatever fee that you paid. That's a open challenge, but you need to be genuine to yourself. You can't cut classes and show up 1 month later, right? Not follow the study plan. You can't do that. For anyone who does that properly, not just an A, you can even go more than an A, right? You can even go to the 90, 95 levels, but at least I'll keep my promise on a money back guarantee. If you can properly do it, right, without doing any nonsense. So that study plan will require around a commitment of around 2 hours a day. So every day I will say what and what to do. Today you do this, today, tomorrow this, this. For 2 hours, you have a proper basic plan on what you need to do for the next, that is 6 months. So for now, it's made for 6 months. Maybe if A-levels postpone a little, we can switch it a little here and there. That's depending on when A-levels will happen. But make sure that you follow this. I don't know when the exam would happen, guys. We'll see. We'll hope and see when it will happen. We don't know. Okay, right. Going to next. So I'll hopefully see all of you all tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. Okay, we'll make a plan. It's all right whether you are part of my class or any class, so that doesn't matter, right? Have a plan, guys, because without a plan, there is no point just going to school and just randomly opening a book and studying. You need to have a plan. You need to have set targets. By today, I'm going to finish this. This is what I'm going to do here, right? If you can do that, everything becomes ideal. Okay, right. So in this diagram, DD represents demand, S and S plus T. Yes, fast track program will start tomorrow. I'll send you all a message on the group. Okay, represents the supply and all of that. So what has happened here, guys, in this diagram? There has been a tax, and the supply curve has shifted to the left. Okay, that is what has happened. So what are they asking? At the equilibrium price before the tax, what area represents consumer surplus and what area represents producer surplus? Guys, come on. Can you all give me an answer? Can all of you all give me an answer if you're not fallen asleep? This is basic unit number 2. So before the tax, right? Fast track program, guys, there is a monthly fee of 4,000, but the first week is free. Anyone can come and learn because it's 12 classes, guys. I print a book and send you all study plans and everything. What's consumer surplus here, guys? Come on, all of you all, I think, should be able to answer this. This is one of the easiest questions, guys. If you all are struggling with something like this, there is a small problem. Okay, so which area is consumer surplus before? Consumer surplus before the tax is the area of G, F, E, and D. Now, I'm not going to tell you how that came and all of it. By now, you should be knowing. Which area is producer surplus before the tax? That is A, B, and C. This is for question number A. Right? So, subpart A, consumer surplus is which area? Consumer surplus is this area, GFED, and producer surplus is which area? Producer surplus is BEN A. Right. It's better to use the plus sign, guys, because you're showing the area. So you're saying producer surplus is the area of A plus B plus C. So better to show it the plus sign. Don't just say ABC because then it looks like multiplication mathematically. If you just say, I don't think they'll cut marks, but theoretically it's not correct. If you say producer plus ABC, it's like A into B into C, right? That's how you write. So better way to say it with a plus mark. A plus B plus C. Okay, right. Then guys, there has been a tax. Now, after tax has been imposed, they're asking what is the consumer surplus. Now, first thing, after tax has been imposed, what happens? The producer shifts his supply curve from here to here now, leftward shift. And as a result, you have a new equilibrium price, you have a new equilibrium quantity. So now consumer is paying P2 and he's buying Q1. So which area do you think is his producer surplus? Now, sorry, consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is just the area of G, right? This is the consumer surplus area. Okay, right. That is answer number B. Okay, so what is produced surplus? What is produced surplus after that? Think and tell me. What do you think? Producer surplus. They are not asking for that in the question though. Producer surplus is what, guys? Is it F? Is it A? Is it I don't know, whatever? What's producer? No, some of you all are giving me the wrong answer. Producer surplus is only A, right? Please go back into your notes and check for the ones who told me A and B, for the ones who told me F, for the ones who told me FEBA, because why, guys? This area is the tax revenue, right? Remember, this FEB is what? The government tax revenue. Yeah, so producer doesn't get that. So producer surplus goes just to the area of A. Yeah, so please go back into your notes and revise that basic area. Okay. Then part C, guys. What area represents the deadweight loss of the tax? Again, very easy, guys. Which area is the deadweight loss according to this diagram? A, B, C. This is C, no? Deadweight loss is what? D plus C. That all of you all have got it right. Good, right? So deadweight loss is this area. Yeah. And then finally, which area represents the revenue raised by the government? Now, this I already showed you all. The letters are kind of missing in my thing. If you all have a photocopy of this, you should be able to give me an answer. The area is F plus E plus B. And guys, again repeating, please get a printout of the paper that I have sent you. I have typed it, right? Broken it down into units. So make sure that you get a printout. And every time we discuss questions and answers, make notes, guys. Don't just look at the screen and wait for the sake of it, right? Make notes as much as possible. And you will realize when you finish all 12 units, how much of confidence that alone gives you. I can only tell you have to. Okay, right. This area is done. One of the easiest questions where you can get 8 marks. Okay, just to see, guys, how many marks do you think you would have got out of 8, out of 20? First one is the list the main factors. You just in your head put some marks and see. From this, would you have got all 4? How much do you think you would have got for this? I think this is the only little bit of a tricky one, right? This is also a little tricky, but still you can answer. Yeah. This is again very easy. How much do you think? Out of 20, at least 15? No. So if your answer is perfect, then you get the full mark. Or you itself assess your mark, guys. See, for this question, no, I might not get full marks. They might cut around 2 marks. You will in your head, put and see, guys, how much marks you think you would get. How much you think? You can get at least, let's say, 15 for the first paper itself. I think brilliant, right? This is the first paper, guys. This is the first question we are doing now. You can get here, brilliant. We'll try to aim for a 20 out of 20 in the times to come. Okay. So 2011 A-levels is done.